Before the machines, before convenience, there were hands. Hands that built barns, fed families, and forged a nation through sweat and steel. This is the story of the tools that shaped a generation who lived through the Great Depression and fought in World War II. Tools that carried not just purpose, but pride. These are 15 forgotten tools that built America's greatest generation. 1. The hand-crank drill. You hear the low whir of the bit as it cuts through oak, powered not by a motor, but by muscle. Before electricity reached every workshop, the hand-crank drill was a craftsman's pride. It taught patience, precision. You could feel the resistance of each layer of wood as the steel bit turned, one rotation at a time, slow, steady, and honest. 2. The cross-cut saw. 2 men, 1 rhythm. The cross-cut saw was the heartbeat of the American frontier, massive, serrated, and swung with trust between lumberjacks or farmers clearing their own land. Each pull sang through the forest, a symphony of grit and cooperation that powered towns long before power tools existed. 3. The monkey wrench. Heavy, cold, dependable. The monkey wrench was the symbol of the mechanic's ingenuity. From fixing Model T engines to tightening pipes in coal mines, it was the tool of problem solvers. Its wear marks told a story of late nights under dim bulbs, of oil-stained hands refusing to quit. 4. The draw knife. Picture a carpenter pulling a sharp blade toward his chest, shaping the curve of a chair or the handle of an axe. The draw knife demanded skill and respect. It punished impatience and rewarded mastery with smooth arcs of pine or hickory. It was a tool that turned raw timber into craftsmanship. 5. The oil can. Before engines roared to life, they needed care. The oil can, small, humble, and ever-present, was a mechanic's ritual. A single drop could mean the difference between motion and ruin. Its metallic click and scent of oil were the smell of work, and of a nation learning the language of machines. 6. The washboard. It wasn't glamorous, but it was sacred. Every ridge stroke on the washboard was a note in the music of everyday survival. Women bent over cold water, scrubbing the dirt of life away with determination. It represented love in its purest, most physical form, the will to keep a family clean, warm, and proud, even in hardship. 7. The scythe. Long before engines hummed through golden fields, the scythe sang its slow, sweeping song. Farmers rose before dawn, blades glinting in the morning mist, cutting wheat by hand. It was rhythm and endurance, a tool that turned effort into harvest, one swing at a time. 8. The hand plane. Few sounds are more satisfying than the whisper of a hand plane gliding over wood. Shavings curled like ribbons, revealing smooth golden grain beneath. In a world before plastic and shortcuts, the hand plane symbolized craftsmanship, where perfection was not purchased but earned through touch and repetition. 9. The lantern. The soft flicker of kerosene light guided generations through blackouts, barns, and war. Lanterns were more than illumination, they were comfort. Hung by doorways, carried by soldiers, or placed beside a sick child's bed, their glow turned darkness into safety. Every soot stain on the glass was a memory of perseverance. 10. The hand scythe, sickle.
Smaller than its long-handled brother, the hand sickle was personal. Used by immigrants, field workers, and backyard gardeners alike, it required rhythm, a curved blade pulled close, cutting just what could be carried. It symbolized small victories, survival through simplicity.
11. The forge hammer. In the heat of a blacksmith's forge, sparks danced like fireflies. The forge hammer built everything, from horseshoes to wagon wheels, from farm hinges to early rifles. Each strike echoed across the shop, a deep metallic heartbeat of a world still made by hand. 12. The sewing machine foot pedal. The quiet hum of the treadle sewing machine stitched together more than fabric, it bound families. Through wars and depressions, mothers and daughters turned scraps into clothes, curtains, and quilts. The rhythmic click of the pedal became the sound of resilience, proof that beauty could still bloom in hard times. 13. The pocket knife. Every man, farmer, soldier, boy, carried one. It sharpened pencils, peeled apples, and carved initials into wood and memory alike. A simple folding knife, but in those hands it was both tool and symbol of readiness, independence, and the quiet confidence of being capable. 14. The hand crank grinder. Mounted on wooden benches or fence posts, this tool was pure muscle power. Farmers used it to sharpen blades, cooks to grind coffee, blacksmiths to shape steel. The smell of sparks and iron dust filled the air, the scent of creation. It was the sound of preparation, of work that began before sunrise and ended long after dark. 15. The carpenter's square. Simple geometry, infinite meaning. The carpenter's square turned chaos into precision. Every straight beam, every sturdy table, every family home began with this modest piece of steel. It was the tool of visionaries, those who could see what didn't yet exist and measure it into being. These 15 tools built more than barns and bridges. They built character. They remind us that greatness isn't found in luxury or ease, but in effort. That a nation was once shaped by people who repaired instead of replaced, who cared for every nail, every drop of oil, every turn of the wrench. Today, most of these tools lie forgotten, tucked in barns, rusting in sheds, or sold for a few dollars at estate sales. But if you hold one in your hand, you'll feel it, the weight of history, the pulse of those who came before. They built a generation we still call the greatest, and their tools, now silent, still whisper lessons of endurance, pride, and purpose.